can't hear you. Oh, you're just, I think it's,
Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
we go.
I'm gonna see if we're live. Hold on a second. Da, 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 da.
Yay.
What
The
is-
beauty of technology.
All right. I don't see us yet.
See if I can pull it up. Hello, group. Refresh.
It's probably streaming somewhere where I like didn't expect it.
That's been my luck, like streaming in the wrong place.
Seriously, I'm like, wait a minute. Well, it's funny. I'm getting it says live preparing. Oh, so it's preparing. So it's not live yet. It's
preparing to be live.
I'm gonna redo this. One last time. Uh-oh. Oh no.
I was like, uh-oh. This is why I've tried doing these before with Facebook Live. It never works for me. Like I've seen people do it really well, but I think it must be me. I'm a jinx. It never works for me.
It's very 50-50. Like it just depends if the Facebook developers I think also have it hooked up and it's like working. Yeah.
Yep.
So all right. I think I might be getting somewhere.
No worries, no rush. I'm fine. I don't have any big schedule thing after this.
No worries. How to. All right, let's see what this goes here. I think we're doing this. Okay, it's coming. Setting up meeting, it says for Facebook Live.
Woohoo!
Okay, we're in it. We're live. All right,
we are.
did it.
Hey, woo!
All right, hi Kim. So good to see you here today.
Oh, so great to be here. It's Friday and we have a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we were just catching up on the world pre going live. So I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret here in the Be the Pause Sisterhood. Kim wrote this book, which is a little out of focus. Here it is in my.
You have to put it close to you. There you go. It's like you're in
This is Kim's book. This is Kim's book. And Kim wrote Radical Intuition, and she's going to be a future podcast guest very soon. There it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to see my messy room in my background, so I blurred out the background. But Kim, tell us a little bit about your world. I know I've got the book here. It's an amazing book, and I would love to learn a little. Well, just share who you are with our group because we want to know you.
Yeah, well, I'm so happy to join the group today. I've been meaning to, but now here I am, and I love the work that you're doing, Rachel, and it is so important, this idea of pause. So it really fits into the work that I'm doing with intuition, because intuition is really all about getting into the silence and knowing ourselves and hearing that still small voice within us. And that's really my passion. I've been, writing about intuition, teaching intuition for almost 20 years. I'm also a work in technology. So I've really been focusing on the application of intuition in tech and cultural development, and done a lot of work all around the world, really, with some really big companies implementing this sort of new conception of intuition as something very normal, something very much part of our cognitive function that we use every day.
Let's just pause for that, because I think this is so important. And the fact that companies are even looking at bringing in more intuitive skills to increase that as a skill within their teams and individuals or management and leadership is like a game changer, I feel like, and very just like so needed right now. And instead of just driving like bottom line results, which is important, we need those, and productivity is all good, but why not when we access this intuitive sense that could drive anything even better or stronger and get out of our own way a little bit, which I find really, really incredible and a big aspect of feminine leadership too, I think.
Oh, completely. I mean, everything's rising together. It's not a coincidence that, female power, feminine leaderships is rising alongside of our new understanding and reliance on intuition. And all of these other things are, really part of a rebalancing in our culture of the masculine and the feminine and the non-binary sort of understanding of life as this flow between both of these polarities. So we get into this place of looking at intuition now. It's a real reckoning. We spent decades and centuries learning how to be smart using one side of our brains. And now with intuition, we're realizing that there's so much potential that we don't even understand yet. And now machines are going to be smarter than us like any second now. So we really need, it's for our own survival, our own growth. We have to get back to this and understand what's unlocked in here. What genius, what extraordinary insight can we tap into when we really learn to harness the untapped potential of this other side of our mind?
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to talk about today and also practice this. I think we can never practice enough accessing our intuition. So one, would you be up for leading us in a little exercise for that? It can be whatever your fancy. And then like we can just talk a little bit more about these skills that we can all develop. Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, lead us away then. I'm excited to.
All right. So we're each going to do a little thing. Okay. I always like to start my intuition things with a little bell. So I'm going to ring my bell to kind of just get us in the zone. We'll take a pause. I'm going to ring the bell, and then I'm going to just sort of activate the pause with a little intuitive insight. Okay. So get comfortable. If you want home, you want to just like take a moment, take a pause.
Okay. I'm going to get comfortable.
Yes. Take a deep breath and enjoy the cleansing sounds of the crystal bowl. Now take a deep cleansing breath and greet yourself with a gentle, loving smile. As we take this pause here together, the smile lifts us up, opens our energy, helps us to release any stress and connect with that higher light and radiant joy within us. The pause is an opening. It's a portal to our higher intuitive knowing. Being in this place, being in this moment allows us to listen. Listen to the silence where the stillness speaks. It's here in this place of silence that our insights, our inspiration, all the new ideas that come into our hearts and minds to make the world a better place. Now repeat after me. I will trust the wisdom of my inner light to inspire and guide my life.
Thank you. I love that we were acknowledging our inner light and asking it to guide ourselves. That's really powerful.
And that's just it's just a mini thing. And ideally, if you want to do something like this at home, even if you have like 10 minutes in your workday and you just need some ideas, if you have creative blocks, or if you just need to calm and just listen and just really, really reconnect you can take this and then just actually just have more time to sit in silence than we did. But that's a good framework of just a little mini meditation you can use anytime to just get those intuitive juices flowing.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I feel way different, FYI. I know every time I intentionally shift my behavior, I feel calmer and just a little less zany, a little slower in my mental speed, which is a good thing, I think, because I'm racing around probably like a lot of us are at this point, right?
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So from your end, Kim, what are some tips for accessing our radical intuition? Like what do we need to do to make sure I can just tune in to this inner guidance that I know there is, but I may not be able to have that in the moment, or I don't know where to start.
Right. Well, I think we just kind of touched on it when we were talking about running around like crazy, because I think most of us are really, really busy. And the
Yeah.
first step that anybody can do to start listening to that inner guidance and that inner voice is slow down. Slowing down, creating more white space, spending more time alone with yourself, listening, being, right? Getting into that place, that calm, that gap between our crazy thoughts that are going 25,000 million miles a minute. That's the place where our intuition talks to us, right? When do you ever hear your intuition? When you're in the shower, you're driving the car, maybe going for a walk. These are the places you probably already felt it. Because whenever you open up and get into that place of no mind and kind of like zone out, that's when you open up this place for intuition to come in and to give you these things. It's always there. It's there 24/7. It is actually strangely, people are like, oh, intuition is so unpredictable and mysterious. Well, it's not as much as you think, because it is always there waiting for us just to open up and listen to it.
And what would you say? And I so agree with you, but with the number one thing we were going to get up against, and even in our own minds, is like, but I can't slow down. Like, I don't know how I can even think of that right now. I got 20 things to do on my list, and I'm sure that comes into play. What do we do when we're faced with that?
Well, I mean, and I'm totally guilty of that myself. So I can't pretend like I'm perfect with this, but I have faced this challenge. And what I found works for me is really just carving out little like micro sessions or micro moments. So even if it means getting up an extra 15 minutes early and just doing like a 10-minute little intuition practice, or short or sort of yoga intuition practice, or something to get moving and flowing and getting all that insight going. And I actually do that multiple times throughout the day because I'm busy. I have to work all day long. So then at lunch, I'll do it and I'll take a little micro moment for 5 minutes and just do something, move around, get into the space, calm down, breathe. Those, just look out the window, look at something pretty, go for a little walk. If you have time at lunch, by all means, that's a great thing. Go for a walk. And if you carve out a little time at the beginning or end of your day and make it a priority, that's the trick. You have to make yourself a priority. And this is one of the things that I told one of my students the other day, and I really love it. And I'm going to say it forever because I think it was an intuitive hit that was so important. We need to make time for ourselves and space for ourselves, like it's our job. Right? And it's so important because our job will be better if we do it. Our life will be better if we do it, but we put it away as last because it doesn't have a action item associated with it. But the truth
Or
is,
it's not valued in our culture, at least at this point, where it's always, we're just taught to keep going and muscle through it and all of the things that I know we all know. And so we have to change it up, and it's going to be up to you and me and everyone listening and those who take that stake for it's like, you will live longer, you will be healthier, you will have less stress, all of that stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah. Oops, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, but just recognizing that and giving ourselves that sense of responsibility, that it's not just a luxury. It's not something that's just like a bonus if we're living a great life. No, it's a necessity that is really the foundation. It's like when the plane's going down, you put your life mask on first before you help anybody out. That's how important it is to do this kind of work. You'll create
Yeah.
work better. You'll have better ideas. You'll understand your colleagues and your family and your friends better if you take those pauses. Like quarterly pauses throughout the day. That's what I would recommend. every
Quarterly pauses,
hour, yeah.
every 4 hours, 15 minutes, 10
Like
minutes, something like
morning, lunch, afternoon, evening.
that.
Just
Yeah, here. And there's research in that too. I remember hearing this from Daniel Goleman's research that if you take 4 15-minute breaks throughout the day versus like a 90-minute break, or go, that could be exercise, it could be whatever, that you actually are more relaxed, you're healthier, your stress system is like in that rest and digest mode overall, and you're it's actually more beneficial. So what you're saying aligns with the research. Well
yeah,
done.
I love
Nice
that.
job.
See, that was just intuition.
Yeah, you knew it was coming. We have so many jokes on all of that, I'm sure. One question I have, so knowing this is probably just like pausing, it's a skill, right? Like, so the more I tune into myself and just ask myself, for example, like, what do I really want right now? Or what's the choice that I want to make? Does it get stronger? Like, will it become easier if I do this every day? Or what is the regimen that you would recommend for anyone who wants to build this skill?
Yeah, it 100% gets stronger the more that you use it. It's like any
Like
other
meditation, right?
what?
Like meditation. Like, if you meditate, it's like going to the gym, like that analogy.
Exactly, like going to the gym, or like I was gonna say, like, playing the piano or creating, doing something that you're talented at. You in the beginning, it's kind of hard. You have to learn the scales, or you have to learn the technique. But then after a while, you can just do it. And it's like people are like, how do you do that? It's just like magically happens. And intuition's just like that. In the beginning, it's kind of hard. You have to practice with it. You have to do these exercises. You have to learn the techniques. You have to understand it. You have to understand the theory behind it. But once you get past that, intuition, it just becomes a way of life, and it starts flowing naturally, and like a symphony in your life. You have it all the time, and there you get to a place where there isn't so much choosing anymore, because you're not always in this either or situation. You're just aligned, and you're just intuitively going with that flow and that alignment. And so it's so much easier to live, and live with insightfulness.
That's so cool. And I think of the Dan Siegel analogy of the river banks, whether you're in the river of, or the river of chaos, or bumping up against the stream bed, like the rocks on the side.
Right.
And like when you're in the flow, you're in your intuition, you're feeling like things are easy and moving through things. And that's in the river of chaos. Or
Exactly.
the river banks of chaos. I can't remember, but
It's a great analogy though. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Yeah. So what are some, like, do you have one or two like drills, we'll call them, for lack of a better word, for building the intuitive skills, in terms of like, how do I strengthen that muscle? What would be what could I start out doing? Because I think that's a really good place to go.
Yeah, and when we were talking about my school intuition lab, we have kind of created so many different tools and regimens and exercises that you can do, anybody can do every day, just to practice working with your intuition, recognizing your intuition. One of the best things that work, I actually built this just for this specific purpose, is my insight card deck.
Oh, I heard about your cards and I was dying to see these. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually designed them myself. They're really pretty. Like, they're all like they're sort of high vibe, and they don't have any words on them or numbers or anything. It's all symbols and images. And why I wanted this deck was because, it's different than other like tarot card decks or oracle decks, because this actually helps you to develop and start a language with your intuition and your higher self. So these cards will speak to you intuitively through their
Oh, I love
metaphors and
that.
symbols. So it's a
Oh my God, that's so, like, I'm like blown away right now, because I've done this in coaching where you use like a metaphor example. So you say like, what's something in the room that sticks out to you, and you pick something, and all of a sudden you start describing your own life, because it looks like the plant in the
Exactly.
corner. And that's what you're telling us, is like you
Exactly what you do.
see things differently. It's like another language of your brain is the visual language. Wow. Oh, I'm so impressed. This is so
Yes.
cool.
And that, because you have to get that sort of rational ego side out of the way that has all these judgments and fears and anxieties. And you start letting this thing speak to you through that intuitive part of your brain, which just gives you the information. So it really is a wonderful tool for self-discovery and for recognizing how your own intuition works and feels. So
Oh my goodness. So that's the first thing, is get the cards and then
yes,
practice.
this was my first deck, and I sold it out in 2 weeks, but I have another one coming, and it'll be releasing in March. So
Let's share the link when you have it, because I definitely want to help people learn
yeah,
that as
I
well. It's
will.
awesome.
And if you get the book Radical Intuition, for the next month, there's a free download. You can download these and cut them out and just practice with them at home until the cards come out, until the nice the nice ones are finished.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's a great tool,
amazing.
right?
Yeah, so like I'm hearing use visuals, like just train another part because you are, oh, I'm so pumped right now. It's like we were all over cognated is it the right side of our brain, right? No, our left side of the
Yeah, I
brain.
get confused about like
Left side of the brain. I'm left-handed, so I'm always backwards anyway. I'm always like, what? But if it's, yeah, the linear, the the left side of the brain, which is like like linear thinking,
yes.
analyzing, like data spreadsheet stuff. And now we need to like develop this intuitive side, which is underdeveloped, which is what you're saying. And like that is also the creative mind and the visual mind and the abstract mind. And I like love that idea because wow, what a powerful tool you just gave us.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found, I mean, it really is the best way. And then eventually, once you start recognizing what your intuition feels like, because once you go through these, you'll have intuitive impressions while you're using the cards. You'll have thoughts, ideas, maybe even other symbols and interpretations. And once you start to recognize that, then eventually you don't need the card at all. Then you can this stuff will just come naturally.
Can't wait to get them. I can try them right now.
I love them so much that I like invented them and made them because I wanted to use them.
Yeah. Did you draw the pictures yourself? Were you like the art?
All the cards and everything. Yeah, I designed them all. So yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, kudos to you. Mine would all be stick figures. Would that still work? Can I draw like sunshine and like the V for a bird? And would that work?
You could use anything. I'm an artist, so I liked doing it. So it was.
Yeah, you've got a talent for that. Yeah, that's lovely. I love it. Well, tell us how we can find out more about you. You mentioned you've got a school and you've got the book, Radical Intuition, and these great cards. We can put the links all up later in this chat, but where can we find more about you, Kim?
Yes, so you can go to my website. I have a free intuition awakening guide that you can get right now. It's 12 pages, just like we were talking about, those first steps that you can take to just start getting into that intuitive headspace right now. And my website is kimchestney.com, like this down here, Chestney. And then you can also check out my school, Intuition Lab, where we have workshops, live events, self-study courses, and all kind of fun things to really activate and awaken your intuitive sensibilities.
So it's called what's the gift that you have there for kimchestney.com? It's the quiz.
It's the free intuition awakening guide.
All right, I'm typing that in right now to this chat. So that's the link. I've got it in there, kimchestney.com. You can get your free intuition awakening guide. That sounds great. And you've got a school. So I was just saying, like, kudos to you. You've got certification. You can go get certified in your radical intuition. I mean, that is incredible. Maybe one day I'll have a certification for pausing.
Yes, that's right.
I think that'd be amazing. I would love to do that. And EQ and all of that good stuff. So thank you so much, Kim, for joining us today. And any parting words, any intuitive hits that you're getting right now that you want to share with the rest of us?
It's just my favorite mantra at the end of the day, the affirmation don't forget, more than anything, at the end of the day, to your own higher self, be true.
Be true, be true, be true. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad that you were here. And it means the world to us. And we're going to all be more in tune with our own intuition, developing that as a skill, as we all know we need it in the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.